What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and in this video we're discussing the Mr Olympia warehouse burns down. Chris Bumstead is super strong right now. Is he coming in bigger in 2022? Cali Pro competitor list revealed, which includes Petar Klancir, but will he compete? James Hollingshead looking scary right now. Hadi Choopan Physique Update, has his delts improved? Plus, is Big Ramy on the big screen with Jean-Claude Van Damme? All that plus much more coming up in this video, guys. I hope you enjoy it. What's up, desktopers? Now, before I get into this one, I encourage you guys, if you like and appreciate this content, please give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up from myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding, including contest coverage, bodybuilding news, interviews, plus much more. So make sure you do subscribe. So let's get into our first story, and we're going to discuss Chris Bumstead. Posted this up, I believe it was 4 reps of 585 pounds, and it's a solid 4 reps as well. Crazy strong, and especially for a classic physique guy as well. We know obviously the classic physique guys don't need to be as big, or at least can't be as big as these open guys. So the fact that Chris Bumstead's doing 585 pounds and making it look, somewhat easy as well is damn impressive. And I can only imagine if he, ramped things up, how strong he'd actually be if he, moved into open or whatever. But I'm wondering, is he going to come in bigger this year? Because he's got guys like this Horse MD guy, Marcelo. He's coming up. I actually mentioned him in my last video. He posted up this as well. It's a bit more of a video where you can see a little bit more of what's going on 5 weeks out of his pro debut. So he's got some guys coming up that are crazy impressive. And I think that Chris is, after last year where it wasn't as a convincing win as the year prior, he's sort of been put on notice, and he's sort of like, okay, I'm shutting the door now on this. And I think Chris Bumstead will come in this year and win his title once again. But I'm interested to hear from you guys. Can Horse MD eventually, or even this year, challenge Chris Bumstead for that Classic Physique Olympia title? In our next story, the Cali Pro competitor list has been revealed, and while it's not a crazy big competitor list, it is very high quality. So I'll go through the names. So we've got Tony O'Burton, Douglas Frushi, Charles Griffin, Petar Klancir, Theo Laguerra, Andrea Muzzi, Andrea Presti, Christopher Robinson, and Mo Shaban. So we're seeing some guys that we haven't seen so far this year, which is sort of unusual in my eyes, because you've got the Indy Pro, the New York Pro, and then the Cali Pro back to back to back. I thought most of these guys would probably do all 3 at least, and there's shows to come as well. Like next week you got Toronto and stuff as well, so maybe some guys don't want to do 4 weekends back to back, but it makes a lot of sense for me for these guys to actually do that, because a lot of them are hunting Olympia points and obviously wins as well. And these earlier shows, last year and even this year, haven't been as deep and as strong as the later shows like the Texas Pro and the Tampa Pro, etc. So a few of these names that are very, very impressive, and the one that sticks out is Petar Klancir, and he's been confirmed that he's actually competing. He posted up this and basically said his visa's been approved and he will be at this show. So I'm super happy for him, the fact that he actually gets to stand on stage, and I'm super excited to see how he matches up against these guys. And the fact that there's other new names in here that can sort of contend that haven't competed so far this year is super exciting. Guys like Tony O'Burton, I think he's a bit of a dark horse for this show for sure. His first foray into, or actually not his first foray into the open class. He actually competed at that Legion show last year. I believe he placed 4th behind Sean Clarida, Sergio Oliva, and also Regan Grimes. So he looks super impressive there, and I think he looks so much more impressive right now. You've got Andrea Muzzi, who hasn't competed this year as well. Andrea Presti's coming off a 2nd from last weekend. Mo Shaban, who's a guy that's, done sensationally well. Last year he placed 2nd in a number of shows, so cannot wait for this Cali Pro. Let me know who you think's going to win in the comments below, and I'm going to do a preview video on that as well, so make sure you do subscribe. So I've got a physique update here from James Hollingshead, which looks crazy, and I think that James is just getting thicker and denser over the past month or so, because he really has made improvements. He was still looking good in his off-season prior, but he's really sort of upped his game, and we're still a long way out of a Mr Olympia. So I think we're going to see an all-time best, or close to it, all-time best James Hollingshead this year. Obviously when he won the British, that's sort of around the time when he's at his best. I think he'll improve. I think he'll come in better in 2022 than 2021. He flattened out for that Olympia and just wasn't at his best. He was obviously living in Florida for a while leading up to that Olympia, and maybe it just threw him out of his routine a little bit. And by the sounds of it, when he talks about this, he sort of had the warning signs. He didn't communicate it with his coach, Patrick Tua, and he just came in too flat. And I think this year he'll be more aware of that. I mean, he looks in great condition at whatever weight he is right now. I'm assuming he's up near 300 pounds. So I think the dude can compete definitely in the 280s. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Will James Hollingshead have a bounce back 2022 at the Mr Olympia? In our next story, we've got a physique update from Hadi Choopan. Is his delts looking better? We'll start with the physique update first. I think overall, by looking at these photos and seeing a few poses, he looks crazy impressive. He always looks crazy impressive. He's always in pretty good off-season shape. Seems like he's actually sort of pushed things a little bit more in terms of the food and the size this off-season. But I think that's the thing that he had to do, because last year the only real knock on him was his shoulders, and maybe it could be a little bit bigger compared to like a Big Ramy. But overall, his conditioning is always outstanding. I think he'll be outstanding no matter what this year, even if he does pack on extra size. And I think he's going to be very dangerous at that 2022 Mr Olympia, and he can potentially win it. I have no doubt in that. The one thing that I did notice, like I said, his delts look a little bit better in my opinion. I think they look a little bit less inflamed. On that front lat spread is when they stick up most. I've seen, off-season physique updates of Hadi where he does the front lat spread and it's very, very obvious. It's obvious here, but it's not too bad. So I don't know if he's been doing massage work or what on them, but I think overall they look a bit better. Also, I saw this front delt exercise that he's doing, which I found extremely strange, pivoting at the hips and then doing like a front raise. I don't know what the purpose of this exercise exactly is. I think it's probably more dangerous. If I did this, I'd probably slip a disc in my back. But regardless, it's working for Hadi Choopan. But let me know what you think in the comments below. How will Hadi Choopan do at the 2022 Mr Olympia? And are his delts better? In our next story, the Mr Olympia warehouse burns down. So I saw this posted up by the Mr Olympia gear page. Olympia Gear family and friends, we are deeply saddened to announce that due to unforeseen circumstances, Olympia Gear will be temporarily halting online/event sales. This morning, our warehouse in Las Vegas caught fire and our entire inventory was lost. While this loss is devastating, we are staying strong, and like the phoenix, we will rise from the ashes. Our dedication to the Olympia brand and name remains unwavering. We are extremely thankful to our friends and family who have come together to support our small business and brand during this difficult time. We are also happy to announce that despite our losses, we will continue our Summer Olympia launch. Please stay tuned for more details and updates on the brand. Stay strong, dream big, Olympia Gear family. So I found that super interesting that it said halting online/event sales. So I don't know if this means that you can't buy Mr Olympia tickets now for whatever reason, but I wouldn't see why that would be the actual issue. So potentially they've lost servers and all that sort of stuff. I don't know if it's burnt down like all the Olympia clothing and gear and all that sort of stuff, and that's it, or if it's actually burnt down like computers and servers and all that sort of stuff. I have no idea. This is all I've seen so far. I will dig a little bit more. I'll ask Dan Solomon and I'll reach out to a few people at the Olympia to try to find out more information on this story. So I've actually found some more information while editing this video, and I want to get it into this one so you guys are up to date on what's actually happening. And it's a news report that I actually found out there, and the fire looks pretty damn serious, and it took over 70 firefighters to actually put this fire out. So here it is.
A fire at a Southeast Valley business complex leaving a lot of people with a lot of questions.
At least 2 businesses destroyed after the roof collapsed at a building on Sunrise near Eastern, just north of Sunset Park.
Well, a few business owners are now trying to figure out what is next after this blaze. Take a look. This fence is now up and the debris was pulled out by investigators earlier, and you can see it is all boarded up. You can still smell that. It's a business owner's worst nightmare.
Where am I going to work? Where am I going to work?
So that there is one of the business owners that business was actually destroyed. So I assume the other one is the Mr Olympia brand, the Mr Olympia gear specifically. So hers was actually a salon. So I don't know if it could have been some of her products or anything like that she's using in a salon that actually caused the fire, or was there foul play at hand? Because it seems like a lot of people are asking questions, what actually happened to cause such an aggressive fire in this location?
The fire was so intense, more than 70 firefighters were needed to put it out. Investigators were looking through the debris much of Monday, trying to figure out what could have caused this.
I'd like to know where it started. There's new construction going on and remodeling in our building.
So it's interesting that she's actually asking the question. I'd like to know how it started. So she seems pretty confident that it wasn't actually caused by her business by saying that, in my opinion. So was there foul play at hand? It seems like there's 2 businesses that were affected. Her salon, and she seems like she wouldn't have that many enemies or anything like that. Then obviously the Mr Olympia brand as well.
I'm back out here live. You can just see all this debris that was taken out of the building. Crews just finished boarding this all up. Investigators have not said how much exactly the damage is estimated to be here, and they're still looking into that cause.
So when we do find out the cause of this fire and it is released, if they do find out the cause, I'll be reporting on it right here on Desktop Bodybuilding. So make sure you stay tuned. In our last story, is Big Ramy on the big screen with Jean-Claude Van Damme? He's definitely on a screen with Jean-Claude Van Damme, but it's actually a prank show. So this is a guy, it's an Arab prank show. His name's Ramy Movie Star, and I read this off IMDb. It says a prank show where Arab actors and singers, entertainers fall into Ramy's playground of terror with help of the amazing Jean-Claude Van Damme. So this is super interesting. I actually saw this posted up on Jean-Claude Van Damme's YouTube channel. And it says the Muscles from Brussels sets up Mr Olympia 2020 and 2021 in a prank show. So I don't know when this was filmed, but at least we're seeing something from Big Ramy. Now this actually came out a few weeks ago. I've just sort of noticed it now, but super interesting. And here's a short little clip from that episode.
Don't play a game with me.
هقول بس هقول بس ساعدني هعرف مين اللي قتل من اللي قتل علي.
So could it be because Ramy's trying to get into acting as to why we haven't seen him? I don't think that's the case, but if you guys know anything about where Big Ramy is, I've done a video on it in the past before. Dennis James has actually spoken on it, so you can click the card at the top of the screen now if you do want to watch that, because no one seems to know exactly where Big Ramy is. So that's it for this video, guys. If you like and appreciate this content, please give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe, and hit the notification bell button. That way you'll be notified of every video that goes up from myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. Also, head to hdmuscle.com, enter the code DESKTOP. You'll save yourself 10% off your entire order, even if there's already discounts on the products on there. So a really, really good deal. So you can enter the code DESKTOP or click the link in the description below. That's it for me, guys. For Xavier Wills, Desktop Bodybuilding, we are out.